Are you ready for the most controversial All-Star voting results in WNBA history? Caitlin Clark just proved that fan power trumps everything when she collected nearly 1.3 million votes, more than the top 30 players combined from 2023. There are fans out there online who say it's fever versus everybody, and when they see this voting, it's only going to fuel that notion. The fans have crowned their queen, but the jealous WNBA players have other plans. What did they do this time? And how is this creating a divide so massive it threatens to tear the league apart? This isn't just about basketball anymore, it's about respect, recognition, and the future of women's sports. Picture this. Nearly 1.3 million fans across the country clicking vote after vote for one player. Their phones lighting up, their computers humming, all for Caitlin Clark. This wasn't just voting. This was a movement. Clark pulled in 1.3 million votes for the WNBA All-Star Game. Let that number sink in for a second. To put this in perspective, the entire top 30 players in 2023 combined only managed 1.17 million votes total. Clark beat 30 players 2 years ago with her votes alone this year. She didn't just break records, she shattered them into pieces. But here's where it gets interesting. In 2023, A'ja Wilson led all vote-getters with 95,860 votes. That seemed impressive at the time. Clark got over 13 times that amount. 13 times. The jump from previous years shows something massive happening in women's basketball. Casual fans turned into die-hard supporters overnight. In 2023, get this guys, in 2023, the year before Caitlin Clark's arrival, A'ja Wilson received the most fan votes with 95,860 votes. The top 30 players had combined for 1,171,000 votes. Wow! Fewer than Caitlin Clark or Collier got by themselves this time around. Wow! The geographic spread tells an incredible story too. Votes poured in from every corner of America, not just Indiana, not just the Midwest. Coast to coast, fans rallied behind Clark. Small towns in Alabama voted for her. Big cities in California backed her. This wasn't regional pride, this was national recognition. And let's not forget a big chunk of international voters too. She's really the face of basketball. Clark's fan army mobilized like nothing we've seen before in women's basketball. Social media campaigns spread like wildfire. Watch parties organized voting drives. Families made it a group activity. The WNBA had never witnessed this level of grassroots support for a single player. What does this mean for her role as team captain? Everything. When you have nearly 1.3 million people in your corner, you carry real power, real influence. The All-Star Game isn't just about playing anymore. It's about Clark leading a team that represents the voice of the fans. The transformation of casual viewers into dedicated WNBA supporters happened right before our eyes. Clark didn't just bring eyeballs to women's basketball. She brought hearts. She brought passion. She brought people who had never cared about the WNBA before, but now check scores daily. This voting surge proves that Clark has become something special. Not just a great player, not just a rising star. She's become the undisputed queen of the WNBA in the eyes of the people who matter most, the fans. They've crowned her with their votes. They've shown their loyalty with their numbers. The fans have spoken louder than ever before in WNBA history. Their message rings crystal clear. Caitlin Clark represents their vision for women's basketball. But while nearly 1.3 million fans celebrated their queen, something ugly was brewing behind the scenes. Sophie Cunningham said nobody likes us about the Indiana Fever, and the player voting returns for the WNBA All-Star Game don't exactly dispel that notion, because Caitlin Clark received the most votes overall, a captain on the team alongside Nafisa Collier. Another starter, Aaliyah Boston, was right behind them in votes, yet both Clark and AB were ranked 9th by the players in guards and front court, respectively. Here's where things get ugly. While fans gave Clark nearly 1.3 million votes, WNBA players ranked her 9th among guards. Think about that for a second. The woman who broke every voting record in league history got ranked behind 8 other guards by her own peers. The disconnect couldn't be more obvious. There's going to come a time when the CBA negotiations are going on. The owners are sitting across from the Players Association. The negotiators are in the room. They're trying to iron out things, and the owners all come together and they ask a question. They pose a question to the players, and the question's simple. Where's Caitlin Clark? Why isn't she here? And why isn't she sticking up for you ladies and advocating on your behalf? And when the Players Association, when the people in that room hear that question, they're going to be looking at each other, confused, lost, and without an answer that doesn't make them look incredibly foolish. The player voting results tell a shocking story. Guards like Brittany Sykes and Natasha Cloud ranked higher than the record-breaking vote-getter. Let's talk about these rankings for a moment. Natasha Cloud isn't even considered one of the top players on her own team. Sources point out that Brittany Sykes' team often plays better without her on the court. Yet somehow these players earned higher marks than Clark from fellow WNBA players. The pattern gets even more suspicious when you look at Aaliyah Boston. Despite strong fan support, players also ranked Boston 9th in the front court voting. 2 Indiana Fever players both landing at 9th place. That's not coincidence. That's coordination. The voting shows a clear bias against the Fever organization and the players driving the league's popularity surge. Media voting placed Clark 3rd among guards. Still better than the player vote, but nowhere near what her fan support deserved. Remember, fans account for 50% of the total vote in this weighted scoring system. The other half gets split between players and media. This system was designed to prevent fan favorites from dominating, but it also allows jealous players to diminish someone's achievements. Think about the irony here. Clark brings millions of new eyeballs to the WNBA. She sells out arenas. She drives television ratings. She creates buzz that benefits every single player in the league. Yet the very people who profit from her success refuse to give her proper recognition. Sophie Cunningham said it best about the Indiana Fever. Nobody likes us. The weighted scoring system shows its true purpose now. It's not about balance, it's about control. When fans overwhelmingly support a player, the league structure allows bitter competitors to override that voice. Players who benefit from Clark's popularity get to vote against her success. This disrespect creates major drama heading into team captain selections. Clark now holds the power to pick her all-star team. Will she reward the players who showed her respect? Or will she take the high road and select based purely on talent? Caitlin Clark has to be getting a light bulb. Oh, they just don't like me, right? Once we get to the Natasha Cloud and Brittany Sykes, a light bulb has to go off. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, they just don't like me. I'm done publicly coming to your girl's defense. I'm done publicly using my cachet, using my fans, my fan base to come support you guys. We're done with that. The jealous players just revealed their true feelings about Clark's meteoric rise. They're not celebrating women's basketball's breakthrough star. They're trying to tear her down. But they made one critical mistake. They gave Clark the captain's chair and the power to choose who stands beside her. Now Clark gets the ultimate power move. As team captain, she decides who plays with her and who gets left behind. The WNBA just handed her the perfect weapon for payback. This new captain draft format creates drama like never before in women's basketball. Here's how it works. Clark and Nafisa Collier will pick teams live on television July 8th. Every selection gets broadcast for maximum entertainment. The NBA tried this format before, and it created fireworks. Now the WNBA gets their turn to watch relationships get tested on national TV. Clark faces strategic decisions that could reshape the entire league. Does she pick loyal teammates like Lexi Hull and Kelsey Mitchell? Or does she go for pure talent and select players who voted against her? The choice reveals everything about her character and her priorities. Think about the players who disrespected her in voting. They ranked her 9th among guards despite her record-breaking fan support. Now those same players might desperately want her approval. Picture Asia Wilson waiting to see if Clark picks her. The irony tastes sweet. This format gives Clark the perfect chance to reward her supporters. Paul and Mitchell stood by her through every controversy. Boston fought alongside her all season. Clark can show the world who truly supports her rise by putting them on her team. When you guys are in the negotiation room, then you're getting asked all these questions. Where's Caitlin Clark? And he keep calling me, and it goes ring, ring, ring. Ring, 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 shouts to Kevin Gates. When you guys text me and he gets left on red, you guys know why. You guys know why. You don't think I'm that good. And if you do think I'm that good, you don't want people publicly to know you guys think I'm that good, so you're just going to downplay me and shit on me for public perception. I'm not cool with that. The live selection process exposes league tensions like never before. Every pick gets analyzed. Every snub gets remembered. Players will know exactly where they stand with Clark. The cameras capture every reaction, every disappointed face, every surprised smile. Potential snubs could shake up relationships across the WNBA. What happens when Clark passes over certain players? How do they respond? The draft creates storylines that last all season long. Grudges form. Alliances strengthen. The politics of women's basketball play out in real time. This moment connects to the massive WNBA expansion happening through 2030. Clark's influence drives the growth. New teams want to capture her magic. The Golden State Valkyries already sold out games before playing. Clark's star power creates opportunities for everyone. The captain draft showcases Clark's growing influence on the sport. She brings viewers. She generates buzz. She makes headlines. Now she gets to use that platform to highlight the players who deserve recognition. I don't know how else to really spin it, especially when you see some of the players that are voted above them in this and that wind up ranked higher, and of course with the narrative around Caitlin Clark in the past. Let's take a look at the actual voting returns. You could see it for yourself. Here is the voting. Paige Beckers, fan rank 2, media rank 5, player rank 4, meaning she was well ahead of Caitlin Clark when it comes to the player ranks. Caitlin Clark, fan rank 1, media rank 3, player rank 9. That's a huge jump from just the media rank to the player rank. Clark holds all the cards heading into this draft. She can reward loyalty or pursue talent. She can create drama or promote unity. The choice reveals her vision for women's basketball moving forward. The players who voted against her just gave Clark the perfect opportunity to show her power. She gets to pick who stands beside her when the lights shine brightest. The Queen chooses her court. Clark's record-breaking vote total isn't just about one All-Star game. It's proof that women's basketball has found its breakthrough star. The WNBA recognizes this massive shift happening right before our eyes. The league announced expansion plans that directly connect to Clark's influence on the sport. 3 new teams joined the WNBA by 2030. Cleveland gets a franchise in 2028. Detroit follows in 2029. Philadelphia rounds out the expansion in 2030. These cities weren't chosen randomly. They represent markets hungry for the excitement Clark brings to women's basketball. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert stated this expansion comes from increased demand for women's basketball and the surging investment in the sport. Clark's 1.3 million votes prove that demand exists. Fans want more games, more teams, more opportunities to watch elite women's basketball. The Golden State Valkyries already show Clark's impact on new franchises. They sold out all 10 home games at Chase Center before playing a single game. Think about that for a moment. A brand new team selling out based purely on excitement for women's basketball. The Clark effect reaches every corner of the league. Investment money flows into women's sports like never before. Corporate sponsors see Clark's voting numbers and want their brands associated with her success. Television networks bid higher for WNBA rights. Arena owners request expansion teams. The business side follows the fan enthusiasm Clark generates. Clark's success creates massive opportunities for teammates like Hull, Boston, and Mitchell. More games mean more exposure. More teams mean more roster spots. More investment means higher salaries across the board. Clark's rising tide lifts all boats in women's basketball. Viewership numbers surge wherever Clark plays. Attendance records fall at Indiana Fever games. Television ratings spike during her appearances. The All-Star voting proves this popularity translates into real fan engagement that drives league growth. The 2025 season shapes up as something special because of Clark's influence. New fans will tune in to watch their voting champion. Veteran players benefit from increased attention. The entire league elevates to match the excitement Clark brings to every game. Clark's 1.3 million votes represent just the beginning of a women's basketball revolution. The expansion announcements prove the league believes in sustained growth. They're not betting on a temporary spike. They see Clark as the foundation for long-term success. What records will she break next? All-Star voting was just the start. Television ratings await. Attendance figures beckon. Merchandise sales call her name. The empire Clark built with fan votes now expands across the entire women's basketball landscape. Clark just proved that fan power beats jealous politics every single time. And this is only the beginning. Nearly 1.3 million votes show what happens when real fans unite behind their champion. The jealous players can vote her ninth all they want. The fans crowned their queen. Keep supporting Clark and the Fever as they build toward an incredible 2025 season. Your votes matter. Your support drives this growth. The All-Star Draft happens July 8th, and Clark gets to show everyone who truly supports women's basketball. 3 new WNBA teams join by 2030 because of this momentum.